it would be interesting just to hear from all of you, like
Yeah.
you are working, tutoring kids one-on-one.
Mhm.
How have you been doing that since the pandemic started? Or did it start at with the pandemic?
Yeah, so I'm going to give you a little bit of an overview of the group, and then individual people could kind of talk more about their role. So, COVE as an organization started out of the pandemic. We were just a. It started actually from graduate students at Columbia's Teachers College that was from like a student organization, and it grew into a community-based organization, and we're now not seeking nonprofit status as COVE, where we've moved beyond working with the frontline workers at Columbia Presbyterian, and then we now service all of New York City schools, focusing on Title I schools, kids in need who would not be able to afford extra tutoring and enrichment services on their own. So although we do look at academic programming, we also look at the whole child and how learning about music, art, physical education, all of that enriches the mind, the soul, the body, and all of that is important part of learning and growing. We've only been online because we started during the pandemic. We're coming upon our 1 year anniversary soon. I am one of the pretty not original, but within the first couple months of people involved with the organization. Um, and I'm on the advisory board and the board of directors, but I mostly work with instructional support and a lot with ed tech because I do love this kind of stuff. My we our main focus of our work has been one-on-one tutoring, but we did a summer camp. We do a lot of family workshops as well. So some of what we want to think about here too is how we can use what we're learning here to then turnkey this to teach
Mhm.
some families how they can use the um, WNET resources with their own kids besides what we can do in the lessons that we're teaching. Many of the students here are also in teacher education programs and are doing some of their field hours that they would normally do in a classroom. They're doing them virtually with
Wow.
us, with some schools. And so they're doing some PDs with us. And so they're teaching small groups. Some of them have specific subjects like math or reading that they're teaching, some do not. We have many early childhood and elementary educators on the call. I believe almost everybody, but please, when you go around, feel free to tell us if that's different. Um, yeah, and so and some are in their undergraduate programs, some are in their master's programs. Um, Sari is part of our outreach. Sorry, as I say your name, you're drinking something. Sari is part of our outreach team. She's one of our senior organizers. Jackie is one of um, our admin team. Um, Volunteers for ed tech, and she is an ed tech amazing, phenomenal, unbelievable person who I'd like to nominate for that. There's like a WNET teacher award thing coming up. I think yeah, she's so good. I talk about her all the time whenever we have our meetings. But I'll let people go around. For those of you at COVE who do not know how this all got connected, I besides loving WNET, because like who doesn't, right? I mean, public, um, television is just amazing, and we all have many of us have grown up on it, and I know I learned to learn about people from different places and to count in Spanish and to do all those great things. Um, but I um, applied to and was very graciously um, offered a position on the uh, Channel 13 Educational Services Advisory Committee, which is where I was connected to be able to ask if we could have a PD brought to you by WNET Learning Media. So if we could, let's see, maybe, I guess I'm looking at my boxes, so I think Willow would be the next person if he wanted to. So Sandy, what did you want them to each
I mean,
or?
I was just curious whether or not this had I thought it started with the pandemic, and so that's
Mhm.
right. And just to get an idea of what age range you work with, PBS Learning Media has content from pre-K all the way up to 12. So we don't want to focus on high school content, which there's a lot of, if most of you are working with elementary school kids. So just to get an idea of the kinds of kids you're working with, the subjects you usually work with, and we can pivot a little bit in terms of what we were planning. We were going to go onto the live site anyway, so.
Awesome. Yeah, and when we do our work session on Saturday, we're going to be excited to like really, be hands-on with you and try more and more of these things out with you in terms of the specifics of the age that you're with and what you're doing in field work. So when we go around, just say who you are, your affiliation, and what grade range you're with, you're in, and what field work, if there's a specific subject that you're working with your field work. So Willow, would you mind going first?
Sure, I can go.
Thank you.
So I am currently working with first graders. So I observe in the morning for one class, and then I work one-on-one with one first grader for literacy. So it's about 40 minutes, give or take. So they go through the phonics system. I forgot what it's called. It starts with an F, F and P, the lettered A through C.
Yeah,
Obviously, I'm not licensed yet. Yeah. So she's slightly behind in terms of like the level. So we're just, doing review because it's hard to do it when you're sitting with everyone else. We started really late because of the disorganization and of COVID and just madness. Madness is all madness. But I just, I plan according to what the teacher tells me and the sounds that she's learning, and it's been great. She's really attentive. She's silly. That's what first grade is all about. And yeah. I like working with little kids. I used to TA for college students when I was getting my BA at Hunter, but college students didn't listen to me. I enjoyed it, but they obviously didn't enjoy working with me. But
Oh, that's helpful.
Willow, can you pass it to another person on the screen?
Sure.
I didn't introduce all of the COVE people, but if you're a COVE person, we could introduce you again at the end. If you're just here as an admin, sorry, I missed all the boxes. But go ahead.
Colleen, are you okay to speak? You're next on the list.
Oh,
Oh, absolutely. Good evening. Thank you, Willow. Good evening, everyone. My name is Colleen Bridgman. I am a senior at Medgar Evers College. I am completing my BA in special education with a concentration in social studies. Currently, I am doing my clinical practice at CX55, a school in the Bronx, where I'm working with a third grade class. Actually, it's a third grade ICT class. Currently, I'm getting my feet wet. They are covering social studies, ELA, math, and science, which I have to observe for my clinical practice requirements. So I am enjoying the experience. I am enjoying the process, and I'm excited to learn and to just discover all the amazing content that there's out there for these students, for my students to learn, and for me to learn, to add to my toolbox when I get into the classroom. So I'm excited to be here and awesome to meet everyone. And I will pass it on to, I see Selena. Hi, Selena.
Oh, hi everyone. I guess you noticed my profile pictures of a cute dog and you chose me or something. Okay.
Yeah, cute dog indeed. And
Yeah.
there goes Goldie.
Yeah, so I'm an undergrad at Hunter, and I'm double majoring in human biology and Chinese language. So not really related to education in particular, but I just started doing COVE like 2 months ago, last month. And so my student is a kindergartner, and I was just asked by her parents to tutor her in reading and some math, like addition and some counting. And yeah. Okay. So yeah, thank you for the comments about the dog. So who hasn't gone yet? Ezekiel Williams?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll pass it to you.
Ezekiel just joined us, but Ezekiel, we're just introducing ourselves, saying where we're from, what class age you're with, and
Type of student.
Yeah. Yeah, first of all, good afternoon. I had a little issue logging in. Actually, I'm trying to share my camera. So, I don't mean to, to have my camera off. I'm just trying to work on it. But as I said, my name is Ezekiel Williams. I'm also, actually, I'm a student at Medgar Evers College. This is my last semester. I'm pursuing my a Bachelor's of Arts in Early Childhood Special Education. So when I saw the link, I think that was a great opportunity for me to learn, and join the professional workshop. I think that will benefit me in the classroom.
and Ezekiel, your placements with second grade, correct?
Yes, I am placed in a second grade classroom.
And well, can you see the other people? Oh, you are.
Yes, now, okay, now my camera is, yes.
Can you just pick someone to go next? You can, let's see if you pick someone who hasn't gone yet. Can you see the names, or I can just pick one for you?
Miss Sandy Goldberg.
Oh, she's our host.
We're presenting.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Miss Vanda Derek.
That's our other host. You're picking the good people here.
We have our cameras on.
Yeah, we can. I think Afrin.
I don't see. Oh yes, now I see Afrin. Yes. Hi. Good evening.
Hi everyone. I'm so glad to be here tonight. I'm part of the instructional support team. I'm a bachelor student majoring in biology, and I basically have my own cohort where I help the tutors with any kind of questions or concerns that they may have, providing them with the resources. Yeah, and that's kind of it. I don't know what else to add.
No, but this is so great because everything you learn here, you'll turnkey to your group of tutors. So we're excited.
Right. Yeah. So I also, yes, any kind of resource that I can get from here, I can also send them over so they can get additional help. I will send it to Eric. Did Eric go yet?
Is my camera on? There we go. Hi, I'm Eric. Okay, whatever. I am an undergrad junior at Fordham University. I'm majoring in general science, and this year I'm applying to the 5-year track at Fordham, which I'll take a 5th year of undergrad and come out of it with a master's. I'm hoping to teach high school biology. In regards to tutoring this semester, I haven't been assigned yet because this is my first workshop, because I've been dragging my feet on it. And it's completely due to my own laziness.
No, welcome. We send positive vibes, Eric. We're glad you're here. We're glad you're here.
Okay, I'm gonna pass it to Brandy H.
Hello, can you hear me? Okay. Hi, I'm Brandy. I popped in a little bit late, so we're just doing intros. Okay. So I am currently working on getting my master's in early childhood education at Hunter College. Today, I actually had my first COVE tutoring session, which went really, really well. She was absent. We were late getting started, and then she was absent the first 2 times. So I was really glad to finally get to get in there and actually meet her and work with her. And my experience is I've been a preschool teacher for the last 7 years. I stopped teaching in March last year, the beginning of March. I began my maternity leave and didn't end up going back because with a newborn and COVID happening, I was like, yeah, not ready to go back to work. But so yeah, so now I'm very, very excited to be working with a student again. And yeah, it seems like it went really well today at least. So fingers crossed it keeps going well. And I'm gonna bounce it to Willow.
I already went.
Oh darn. Okay.
Brandy and I are
Willow's the
classmates.
one person I know in here. I'll do Sabrina. Okay, she's doing it in the chat.
Fair enough. So Sabrina says it's loud for her right now, but she's going to say hi. She's in her 3rd year of her undergraduate studies at St. John's, and she's studying psychology and social justice theory. I love it. I'm volunteering at COVE as a tutor in ELA and math for a 4th grade student, my favorite grade. And we'll bounce it to, is it Ambra? Is that how you pronounce your name? Oh, Ambra. Junior at St. John's University and currently tutoring ELA for an 8th grader. Awesome. Chloe, you're one of our COVE admin volunteers. Do you want to introduce yourself now too?
Sure. Yeah, I volunteer with the EdTech team, so yeah, I'm always curious to learn more about EdTech tools, so that's why I'm here.
Woohoo. Do you want to bounce it to the next person?
Oh yeah, sure. I'll pass it on to Finn.
Hi, I'm Finn. I graduated last year. I was a history major, and I started volunteering with COVE this semester just to like as something to do while I look for a job during COVID and all that. And I'm working with a 3rd grader, mostly on like math and reading stuff.
Awesome.
Oh, and then who hasn't gone yet? Did Sabrina go?
Yes, she had to type into the chat.
Oh yeah. Risa.
Sure. Hi. I haven't gone and my camera seems to be not working, but hi, my name's Risa. I am a volunteer with COVE. I'm a master's student at Teachers College learning TESOL, and my undergraduate study was in secondary math education. With COVE, I work with a 2nd grade student tutoring math and a very small amount of math and a lot of reading. But for my student teaching, I'm working with students in grade 9 and 10 with ELA, math, dance, and social justice, I think is what the class is on. Yes.
So cool.
Let's see. Has Ori went? I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name.
That's good. Hi everyone. I'm Oralua, but I just go by Ori. I'm a sophomore at the Georgia Institute of Technology, majoring in neuroscience, and I'm getting my minor in health and medical sciences. And I joined COVE because I really loved mentoring throughout high school, and I wanted to continue that in college. And so right now I'm doing a 7th grader in math.
And I think Louise is our last person who hasn't introduced.
Hi, I'm Louise. I'm a admin on the instructional support team. I'm a junior right now at Barnard College studying education. I'm hoping to go into elementary education. So I'm in kind of the same boat as Afrin, kind of supporting a group of tutors with their work with students.
Wonderful. So the floor is now yours, our wonderful WNET Learning Media Specialists.
Okay, KJ, you want to share your screen and start, and then we'll.
Yes, let's see, share screen.
All right, can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to present. All right. So hi, everybody. I'm KJ Vandereet. I'm a content producer with WNET. I'm here with Sandy Goldberg. She's the education director. And my wonderful colleague. And we're here today to talk to you about the wonderful resources available from our station and other resources from PBS in general. As like most of you, I am an educator, and I actually started my career as an AmeriCorps Vista as a literacy specialist. So I did a lot of work working one-on-one with students, just like you're doing. And I want to just give you guys some resources that you guys can use when you're working with your students. So just to give you a little bit of background about what is WNET, I know we've talked PBS, WT, what are these things? If you're from New York City, you might know PBS as Channel 13. That's New York City's local PBS station. If you're from another part of the country, I'm from Minnesota. I grew up in Minnesota. We have TPT or WGBH in Boston. There's lots of different PBS stations, right? And our local one is Channel 13. WNET is a big group that manages the tri-state area, essentially. So we have LIW, WLIW in Long Island. We've got NJTV in New Jersey, and Channel 13, the New York PBS. So we work with the Kids Media and Education team. And what's interesting about the work that we do is a lot of people know PBS for the work that we do on television, but we do a lot of work in the education realm and in the community as well. So we want to share all the wonderful things that we have for you and for educators. And we're going to talk a little bit about that today. As you can see on the slide, this is some of the things that we make at our local station. If you guys have seen the nature documentary series, Nature, we make that here in New York City. This summer, we've got some programming, one called Camp TV, which we're going to talk about a little bit about later. We also have a program called Let's Learn, which has been introduced to help teachers through the pandemic. American Masters is like a biopic, biography documentary series. Cyber Chase, which a lot of people are big fans of. We make that at our station as well. That's a math series and environmental focus more recently. And Mission US is a game that we produce. So in addition to the television programs, we also make some educational games that are really fun. Today, we are going to talk a lot about this wonderful site. It is called PBS Learning Media. So we're going to start by exploring the website PBS Learning Media and sharing all the great things you can find. We're going to walk through how to discover resources and how to search through the site. And then after that, Sandy's going to talk a little bit about some of the other work that we're doing, additional resources, and some of the programming that we do that can enhance learning. So this is PBS Learning Media. What PBS Learning Media is a free website designed for teachers, and the site is filled with tens of thousands of media-based resources. Most of these resources are created by other PBS stations or also outside organizations like NASA. They contribute really great content. And a lot of the resources, what they do is they focus on one piece of media, so a short video, and they also have supplemental materials to help you use that video in an educational setting. So things like worksheets, lesson plans, discussion questions, just ways that can help you enhance some of the concepts. We're going to walk through in a little bit how to use the website, but we've got these wonderful slides. We're going to share this PowerPoint with you guys at the end. So if you need to reference and look back at things that we've discussed, you're going to get a copy of this at the end. So what you can find what you need on this website for all subjects and all grade levels. It's really intuitive, really organized to search through it. You can search by subject, as you can see, and within each subject there's subcategories. So example, you could search if you were looking for a social studies lesson, you can look for a subtopic. So if you're looking for geography, US history, world history, you can search. That's one way that you can look for materials that you need. You can also define your search by once you get into the subtopic. So say this looks like I clicked on social studies. You can, once you're within that subject, you can choose the grade level that you're looking for and also what type of resource. When I say type, that means are you looking for a video? Are you looking for a gallery of images? We also have interactive lessons, which are self-paced lessons that students can do on their own time, and lots more. So as you can see, there's lots of great material here. So another great thing about PBS Learning Media, you can create an account. As I said, this is totally free and you don't have to create an account, but one of the great reasons to create an account is it's a great way to save your favorites. So if you just enter your email, create a free account, and that way when you find something you want to use, you can save it and have everything in one place. So yeah, this is just kind of walking you through. Once you make a free account, you can use the drop down here to search through your favorites. And then within your favorites, you can organize them into folders. So if you have different students you're working with, you can create different folders and put materials that are appropriate for the individual students that you're working with, and have it all organized, all on the website. Really awesome. And then the other thing, I know that you guys are working kind of independently with students at this point, but you can also assign these to your students. If you have a classroom or if you have an individual student that you want to create their own student account, if you make assignments or make folders, you can share them directly with your students. So that's another great feature. If you guys are working with your own classroom one day, that's definitely a great feature when you're working with a classroom with multiple students as well. So I'm just going to walk you through. I'm going to show you a couple of examples of resources that you might find on PBS Learning Media. So I'm actually going to just go onto the website. So here, this is the home page. And on the home page right here, this is a carousel that has highlighted resources. These ones are they switch out every couple of days. They're often very timely for things that are happening in pop culture or happening in the news. News and events, these are curated locally. When you log into PBS Learning Media, it recognizes where you are in the country. So right now we're looking at the New York facing site. And then down at the bottom, these are collections. And we're going to talk a little bit more about what collections are in just a little bit. So how do I use PBS Learning Media? So let's say that we're working, it sounds like a lot of you are working with elementary students. So I'll try and keep that in mind as we show some of these examples. But so say I was working with a first grade student in ELA. Okay, we're working on reading and writing, and I'm looking for something that I can use with that student. So one way I can search is to go to the subject tab, whoops, and go to English Language Arts, and I'm just going to click on language. Okay, so now there's other ways that we can narrow down our search within the language tab. So I'm going to go, let's say I'm working with a second grade student. Okay, if you see on the right within the language tab of ELA, it goes even more concise into subtopics. There was one that I found. Which one was it? So if I want to use, I'm trying to remember which one I found here before. So if I am going here, I'm going to look for punctuation. Say we're working on writing sentences and stuff. And there's a really great series. If you can see, a lot of these are from a series called No Nonsense Grammar. Okay. And the other thing I want to point is when I'm looking at resources, I can see what type of resource it is. This is going to be a short video. And I can see that this one's only 46 seconds long. So very short. I'm going to play this commas and conjunctions one just to give you a sense of what a video on the website kind of looks like. This series is great. It's really, they're kind of funny, and they illustrate some of these concepts in a way that students can kind of engage with.
The cheese was stinky and Patrick the pig crinkled his nose. Oink! Your comma is in the wrong place, my friend. You have a compound sentence with two parts. One, the cheese was stinky. Two, Patrick the pig crinkled his nose. These are two independent clauses that need to be joined by a comma. A comma is like a yellow light in our sentence. It tells us to pause before moving forward because the sentence is about to change. Let's put safety first and insert a comma in the correct place. The cheese was stinky and Patrick the pig crinkled his nose. Now we have a chance to catch our breath in the correct place between thinking about that stinky cheese and Patrick the pig crinkling his nose. Also, what is Patrick complaining about? He's a pig.
So really fun, just kind of a way to reinforce those concepts. I like that they have the text on screen. It's easy to follow. They have some fun kind of graphics that make it a little bit funner than if you were just trying to explain that on your own. but so it's just a nice way to add a little something to these lessons that you're doing. The other great thing about PBS Learning Media is, in addition to these videos, oftentimes there are support materials. So if you look on the right here, there's support materials for use with teachers. So right here, there's going to be a little bit of background on the concept. So this is a little refresher for you of the topic. Another one that this has, sorry, my Zoom controls are blocking me. And then also they'll oftentimes have activities for students. So if you're looking really quickly for a fast activity that you can print out and use, here's some sample sentences that you could print out and do with the concept that they just learned from the video. So lots of really great materials there. And I highly suggest checking out the whole collection. This is no nonsense grammar. Within the resource, I can go to a collection and find all of these wonderful videos made by No Nonsense Grammar. There's tons on different subjects like capitalization, spelling, verb tense, mood, usage of language, sentence structure, really short, fun videos on lots of ELA topics for young learners. So another resource I wanted to show you guys was, let's say that we are working in mathematics. I'm going to go to another collection. Let's go back to the home page. There's another great collection that I know of called Math at Its Core. Okay, and this is a collection of middle school math resources. And in this collection, I can search and narrow down my topics. I'm going to say I'm working with a 5th grader. And there's all these great videos that are appropriate for 5th grade math. Things like the associative property, volume and measurement, lots of different topics. There's one that I'm just going to show you quickly. This is one that was made by Cyber Chase, those for real videos that they have at the end of the show. And I'll just play this one really quickly for you, and we can.
Hi, Kelly. Will you put in a good word for me with your boss? Because I could really use the money and the employee discount. I don't know, Bianca. What? I have so many great qualifications. I am a people person. Your oven must be broken, Kelly. And where are you taking me now? I am very responsible. And I am eager to learn new skills. You know, I was just watching the game. Oh, no offense, but in the past, there were times when you didn't exactly rise to the occasion. If you mess up, I could lose my job. Kelly, I've changed. I am so much more mature now. Come on! It'd be so fun to work together. Okay. You measure the ribbon with a yardstick. I can't wait to use my employee discount. Bianca, please pay attention. Look at those cute patterns. Bianca, please come here. I'm trying to teach you things you need to know. I'm so excited, which is such a good thing because my excitement is contagious and I will inspire people to buy stuff. When a customer wants to buy ribbon, you measure it by unrolling it along the edge of the yardstick. When they want to buy 2 kinds of ribbon of different lengths. Look at those colors! Those colors are gorgeous. I need to have those. Bianca, please help this customer. Hi. May I have 1 yard of peach and 2 yards of lavender, please? Sure, thanks. These are both $3 a yard. Okay. Thank you. I know what I'm doing. Could I have 1 1/4 yards of this ribbon and 2 1/2 yards of this one? Sure. These are both $4 a yard. That's great. Thank you. Okay. One and a quarter plus 2 1/2 equals. Kelly. Add the whole numbers first. Well, 1 plus 2 equals 3. Then you can use the yardstick to help you add the fractions. It might be easier to start with the larger fraction. Okay, well, this is 1/2 yard. And if you add 1/4 yard to that, well, this is 1/4 yard. So 1/2 yard plus 1/4 yard is 3/4 yards, which makes the total 3 3/4 yards. You got it. Wow. Kelly, thank you so much for helping me get this job and showing me the ropes. That's what friends are for. To show my appreciation, I want to treat you to a movie. That is so sweet, but I can't. Not today. I spent my pay using my employee discount. Today the movie will be my treat. Really? Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Now, I really like that example because it can show students a real life application of when you might need to add mixed numbers. I like that they had Bianca working at a store, and they also had a visual illustration of the concept. It also gave kids another tool to think about mixed numbers by using the meter stick as a way to think about fractions. So lots of different ways to kind of reinforce those concepts that you're working on with your students. And again, if we look at the support materials, there's questions, and this has a really fun activity suggestion. In this activity, they're saying to use cotton balls and a straw and to blow it down the yardstick, use measurements in fractions, and start to add almost like a competition game. So lots of fun ideas. And as I mentioned, there's just things on every subject, every grade level. And then really quickly, the last collection I wanted to highlight for you guys was one that we are working on here in New York. It's called Let's Learn. Now, Let's Learn is a program that we have on air, and we've broken the segments up and are posting them here on PBS Learning Media. And these lessons are full lessons that are created by literacy specialists. So they're a little bit longer video. I'm not going to play a whole video for you guys. But if I go to math, which one did I want it to show? Actually, let's go to literacy. So if I was working, again, it sounds like a lot of you are working with early readers. So if I wanted to do foundational reading skills, say I was working on decoding and phonics, this is a great video I could show. It's got a whole lesson illustrated by the teacher. And the really great thing about these Let's Learn segments is in the support materials, the Department of Education has created full lesson plans to do. So you could use them alongside the video. And they have guides for the teachers to use. So it says notes for teachers talking about the different things you're going to be addressing in the lesson, giving you a step-by-step guide of how do you talk about the things that are in the video. And then in addition to that, there's activities that you can do with your students. So this one is talking, it's down by the bay and finding the letter sounds, like cat in the hat, a goat with a boat, all that type of matching rhyming sounds. So again, all these Let's Learn ones are ones that I highly suggest checking out just because there's a lot of supplemental material for you to use along with the video. So that's just a little highlight of some of the things that you can find on PBS Learning Media. And what I wanted to do next was actually open the floor to you guys to talk a little bit about how you might be able to use video and use PBS Learning Media resources in the students that you're working with. So I'm just going to stop sharing so I can see all your wonderful faces again. If anybody wants to share how you think you might be able to use video with the students that you're working with.
I think as for me, as I said before, I'm in second grade. And first of all, I think that was very, very interesting, the PBS Learning Media. And there is a lot of things I to definitely use. For example, I love the math concept, how they, she basically, she reinforced how to teach a math concept. And that's a good way for when I'm teaching addition and subtraction, I can use that into the classroom. So this was very, very helpful to me. Also, the interactive is very, very interactive. And I like the measurement, how they play out the scene. I love that. So that definitely I could use it in the classroom. It's not boring. It's very hands-on. The students could move around. They could communicate and so forth. So I could definitely use that.
That's great.
I just, what I'm working with a first grader, and what I'm working on with her right now is chunking in ELA. And I just did a quick search of the PBS Learning Media, and I already see two videos that are one interactive lesson and one video that look like they could be interesting. And could be applicable. I mean, obviously I'd have to watch them first to make sure, but they look like they would be very useful in like having as an alternate, like an alternative way to explain the whole process of chunking to her. And I also noticed that at the bottom, it also gives recommendations. It says you may also like these videos, and it gives recommendations for stuff like that I think could be, I mean, it's the surrounding literacy skills. So it could be a great, that could be a great tool if you have a student who is excelling and ready for the next step, or somebody who is perhaps struggling a little bit more and needs more resources for it.
Yeah, that was something I forgot to mention. Yes, all of the resources on the side, it'll say suggested, I don't know how they title it, but it suggests.
You might also like.
Yeah, you might also like, and it'll have a list of ones that are usually related or on the same topic.
Most of the time, the you might also like videos are pre-selected and they're exactly aligned. Sometimes people who create content for the site forget to select and the system selects. And sometimes you see some bizarre things there. So we try to go through and clean that stuff up, but just know that.
If there's a random one, forgive us.
Yeah.
So sometimes the algorithm does it and they'll.
Yeah.
I noticed that it also, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, so I just noticed that it also, if I keep scrolling down under you may also like, it also has curriculum connections.
Mm-hmm.
It just says curriculum, but it's got buttons where you could click on kind of like keywords. So phonological awareness, decoding speech syllables and sounds. These are all different like keywords that I could click on to go find even more lesson plans that might be pertinent to the student.
Yeah, all of our resources are standards aligned. I will say it's not the most accurate feature. If you're looking like, I would say if you're looking for, like if you're looking for word families or font, like a specific, I would almost just use the search bar and it's going to bring you probably closer to finding the standard you're looking for. But there is a way to search through.
Definitely, yeah. It just seems like I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, I could spend like hours going down a rabbit hole in this.
Yeah.
Bajillions of
exactly what I was gonna say is that's the thing about this is that it's like Pinterest, right? But better, because these are like really high, like Pinterest, you don't know what quality you're getting. Here, you're getting high quality, really researched, like wonderfully tested, like, with good media components down there. But it is like a rabbit hole. Like you'll look up and be like, oh my gosh, it's been like an hour and I've been looking at all these lessons. And I had done something, I think the last time we had a workshop like this, using things with phonics. There are so many really good phonics and phonemic awareness, because to me that's something I like to look up things that typically are rote and boring, and like those boring, like boring math
stuff that could use a little extra.
Right. Something that can have a little needs a little oomph added to it, and there was a lot of great stuff on there as well for that.
I want to just quickly add that, we're PBS, we do a lot of kids programming.
Yes.
And so all of those programs have content on there. So if you're working with the early learning kids, like I don't know if you're familiar with the series, Let's Go Luna. Is it Let's Go Luna? That's
yeah, it's a new one.
I think that's one of them is informational Molly of Denali.
Molly of Denali, amazing
really
show.
Young kids, and
Yeah.
all of those resources are there. There's a new STEM early learning resource called Eleanor Wonders Why. All of those programs that you see on TV, they all have content there. There's also some electric company content on there, some Sesame content on there. So there's just lots and lots. I'm going to share my screen because there are a couple of other things that I want to show you. I think, can you see this?
Yep.
All right, I just have to put it in present mode. No, I'm going to go out of present mode and jump to the slide that I wanted to go to.
But also, I know that some of y'all might be like, oh my gosh, it's amazing, but I'm feeling overwhelmed. But that's why we really would love for you to come to our workshop, our workspace on Saturday. And even if you come to another workspace in the future that's not about this, we can always come back to it if this Saturday is not good for you, because I think that having someone start to set up that library that KJ was talking about, and just starting with something so that you can Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, what I'm sharing here on the screen is exactly what Deborah's talking about. So what we've done is the beginning of, the best of the best. So these are just examples, but these are examples, and this is all clickable, and you have the link to the slides here at the bottom. So you can just, copy them, take the slides and click through and look at all these resources. These two, Is It Alive and From Seed to Flower, are some of the most popular resources on the site, and they were created more than 10 years ago, and they're still hugely popular. So there's also, I don't know why I'm not here. Then there are collections. I think KJ mentioned collections. It's a whole group of resources around a same theme. So No Nonsense Grammar is one of them. There's some Arthur resources here. There's the Crash Course, if you're familiar with the John Green series. There's a few of the different Crash Course series. American Masters, if you're working in ELA, especially with middle and high school, a lot of novels and books that are here. There are some recent resources on Toni Morrison and Maya Angelou, and there is a Amy Tan is coming in May, and there are going to be some great resources about her on there. And then this is just if you want to look at by topic, this is a series of resources all on human impact on ecosystems and the environment, going from just elementary and middle school. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Let's go back here. Oh, it keeps doing it. I'm trying to change the slide. Here we go. I also have here, and I'm going to just click on this. We have our WNET staff picks. And so this is for pre-K through 8 for every grade level, just collections and resources by subject area that we really like. This one here is for middle and high school. No, I keep clicking on the same one. Sorry about that. Oh, it looks like the link is broken. All right, we'll fix the links. So don't download this just yet. We'll fix the links. Okay, next slide. I want to talk to you about Mission US. I don't know if anybody has heard of it. Mission US is a series of immersive interactive games that talk about history. I'm going to go to the site really quickly. I suggest you look through the site, especially if you're looking at social studies. It's mostly for middle school, or like I would say we've had 4th graders play the games. One of them is on the immigrant experience and the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory, which is a 4th grade topic in New York City.
And it's the 100th year anniversary today.
Today it is, yep. So here, let me just, I was going to show you the trailer of Prisoner in My Homeland, which is our newest, but I'm going to play the trailer.
The year is 1907. Yep. You are Lena Brodsky, a 14-year-old Jewish immigrant from Russia.
Welcome to America, miss.
Life in New York City is harder than you expected. You work long hours, but make little money. Can you save enough to bring your parents to America? Will you risk losing your job by going on strike?
We can defeat the bosses.
Play Mission US online, an interactive way to learn history.
So I will let you take a look at that, but if the kids really love it. A lot of our staff have talked about, staff at the station have said, well, our kids were home during COVID, they had nothing to do. I put them on Mission US and now my son won't stop playing. So
they're fun to play even as adults. I've played through all of them. They're lots of fun. They're like choose your own adventure, and there's mini games within them. So
there's a really robust set of educator support materials that you can use to help reinforce vocabulary, writing skills. It's all there on the website. Yeah, so now I want to talk a little bit about Let's Learn. KJ showed you the collection on Learning Media. It is a broadcast series. It's something that we created, we started working on it almost a year ago, and we're working in collaboration with the Early Literacy Department at the New York City Department of Education. And it aired, well, I'll give you the air times here. Let's go to this. I'm going to show you a preview, a really quick promo, and then I'll talk about the air times.
Let's share a story. We are going to read a book to you. Let's have fun with words. Water. Let's have fun with numbers.
I'm going to add 3 and 3 to make 6.
Let's discover science.
What?
Let's make music.
Here we go.
Let's learn.
Oops. Sorry. Okay. So Let's Learn is on Channel 13 every day at 11 a.m. And this will run at this point through the end of August. And it's on 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. on Channel 21, WLIW, in case people want to watch it earlier. You saw a little bit in the promo. The video is all produced by New York City teachers. So those are actually teachers teaching lessons that they teach with students. Many of them have kids at home, so they have their kids in there. So it's really great for those of you who are working with families also. They can watch together as a family. Because the teachers have their kids with them, it models good practices for the way that parents can work with their kids at home. It's also letslearn.org is the website, and all of the videos are there. So full episodes are there. We also have online the same episode with Spanish captions in case some of you are working with bilingual families. And then if you continue going down, it's broken down into segments. So if somebody is just interested in the phonics or the foundational literacy videos, they can just look at those. There's also at the top of this page, a link, supplemental education resources is the link to the PBS Learning Media page. The thing about Let's Learn that I really like, it doesn't just provide, it provides models for families to how they can work with their kids, but also if you're a new teacher, these are really veteran teachers. So it's almost like a professional learning experience. And there are some teachers that we know who are getting together and watching as a team and seeing what they can learn and how the program can help improve their practice.
Yeah, that's something I'll highlight too. If you don't have time to watch the 15-minute video, watching these is a great way to get ideas. You know, you can do the activity that they illustrate in the video and just do it on in real life with your students.
Okay, so this is another show that we aired last summer called Camp TV. Camp TV was born because we realized during the pandemic last summer, there were kids, all the summer programs were canceled. So people weren't able to go out and do activities. And then there are also a lot of families that just don't have the means to send their kids to summer camp. And so we came up with Camp TV, which is coming back this summer. And I'll let you know about the air times, but let me show you a really quick promo. It's a series of videos that we work with partners. So all of the videos come from nonprofit organizations around the city. So we have videos from Lincoln Center Performing Arts, from the New Victory Theater, from the Bronx, from different zoos, from, can't think of, museums, all kinds of places. And everything is hosted by this guy you see here, Zachary Noah Pizer, who is a Broadway actor. And he serves as like a head counselor that sort of ushers the kids from activity to activity. So let's take a quick look at this.
Hi, everybody. My name is Zach, and welcome to Camp TV. Are you ready for some summer fun? Me too. Now, as your head counselor, I will be introducing you to all sorts of cool activities. Arts, crafts, games, math, and science, as well as some of my favorite books, nature, and theater. I will be here to take you from one activity to the next. So follow me on Camp TV. It's a place for you and me. It's Camp TV. Hi, everybody.
Okay, so Camp TV will begin on July 6th, really on 13. July 5th is going to be like a 4th of July specials on 13. But on New Jersey PBS and WLIW, it'll start on the 5th and it will run through August 27th. At the times you see here, there's a website, camptv.org. Full episodes are here. There's also a link to a PBS Learning Media site that will be similar to Let's Learn, where the segments will be available. Also, really quickly, you can look at this later. We do have a WNET education website, and I'm just going to take you there quickly because I want to show you two things. One is the blog. And so we just posted a blog about ways to talk to students about anti-Asian racism. There's a lot of family information here, all kinds of stuff on the blog, but also in terms of events. We do host these family workshops. See the family events, so they're here. There's a Cyber Chase Facebook Live event that's happening in June and August, but there will also be other family events on YouTube Live or Facebook Live that are going to be in May. So watch this. We just haven't we haven't put them on here yet. But this is something to let the families you work with know about. And also if you want to just tune in and get an idea of the kinds of live events that we do for families, just to get an idea of what you might want to do yourself. And then we have just our contact information here at the end with the bit.ly. I'm going to stop sharing. And now we're back. So I don't know if anybody has any questions about some of this content and what there is, but feel free to download the slide deck and just explore on your own. So we're here for a couple more minutes if anybody has questions.
And we will put the link to the slide deck in the Slack and also in the Google Classroom for those of you who are in there as well. I think most folks are just soaking it in because they're so excited about all of the things that you have shared with us and the potential for using them in tutoring, in their classroom, in their future classroom. I know I'm so excited. Yes, and we love when you bring your pups to the show because that's actually sort of a COVE thing that we do, is that we like to bring the dogs to the meeting.
This is Pierogi.
Pierogi! Oh my gosh, that's too cute. Oh,
a new dog.
Yes.
My dog is usually sitting behind me, but she's not right now. I think
We love animals of all sorts. We're not, you know.
So pre-COVID, she brought her dog to our class, and we had class in Central Park, and all I can remember is the dog.
Teddy bear.
Teddy. Yes.
Dogs are a great teaching tool.
Dogs make everything better.
As Ezekiel and Colleen will tell you, my dog is the mascot of our class. That's Goldie, who's on the bed now sleeping. But yeah, so I hope, again, I keep pitching Saturday, not so much because I want you all to come on Saturday, I do, but to me, I think the way that I know last time I learned about it, I was also so overwhelmed that I almost just, it was like turning over the hourglass too quickly, right? And I just didn't even get started because I was so overwhelmed by all the possibilities. So I'm hoping that either this Saturday or any other Saturday that we have a workspace, or any workspace that we have, that we can start to just take some of those little sands down from the hourglass for you and get you started, give you an entry point into using some of the material, because it's so great and it's out there. And so many things that people ask me as a teacher educator, how can I motivate? How can I engage? How can I supplement, differentiate? A lot of these materials are going to be key to that. And they're there for you. And so we're just so grateful for KJ and Sandy to join us today and to lead this workshop and presenting these materials, and we look forward to utilizing them. And are there any last minute questions for Sandy and KJ? Although you definitely can reach out to them another time.
So thank you all. If you have questions, like I said, like Deborah said, just reach out. There was something else I was, oh yeah, so, and feel free to share this with colleagues and other people you work with. We always joke that this is the best kept secret.
Yes.
And it is free, which is all of our favorite 4-letter words, right?
Also, I was very impressed by the content of PBS Learning Media, how much information that is in there. And as someone was saying, a lot of the times you share the information because a lot of people don't know the resources that is out there. And as for me, I could definitely say that I'm definitely happy I came to this session, because I did not know PBS, media has so much content, so much you can learn, so many things that you can do in there, which is really, really great. And I will definitely go through it again, play around with it and, get used to the website. So I definitely will revisit it again.
That's my big thing. A lot of people go to Pinterest and all these other things. I'm like, no, that's not curated. Don't do that. And this is interactive. And this is also linked to things kids know. I think one of the things that was pointed out too is this is connected to shows kids already watch, right? This is when we talk about, making connections and being relevant. We have it there. So KJ just put the presentation in the chat because someone did ask about that, although we will be posting this in other places. I think some people are eager to dive in right now while it's hot on the press. But yeah, and those of you who have observations for student teaching coming up, you're going to throw this in there and your professor is going to be like, oh, where'd you learn about this? We definitely will talk about it at Hunter and at Medgar Evers in some of our other PDs that we do, but we do want to make it, we don't want it to be a secret. Because it should be that people are using some of the great resources that are out there. So we will continue to keep turnkeying it to our colleagues and friends and fellow teachers and tutors. So again, oh my gosh, I just want to give them a little smushies. So thank you so very, very much for spending your Thursday evening with us. And we look forward to working with you more in the future if there any other opportunities arise.
I just wanted to say thank you too, because just because something's cute and age appropriate doesn't mean it's gonna teach them anything. So I grew up with PBS too. Like I used to watch Arthur. I think DW's book, A Book to the Beach, was my first book that I read by myself without my mom like hovering over me and like hinting me the words. But it's one of those things that like, especially with younger children, they shouldn't be online all this time, but they have to be. And when you're 6 years old and you have to be online from like 8:30 to 3, you have to find different ways to make it versatile and keep their interest. But you also they have to teach, they have to learn. So it's, is it cute? But are they also learning?
I think what you're saying also there is important too, because then maybe they'll go and read the Arthur book, right? So it'll have them online, but it'll get them offline to do some paper reading as well. So that's an excellent, right, back.
A lot of favorite PBS, like we mentioned, Odd Squad and Let's Go Luna and Molly. Like these are characters that they recognize and relate and remember. And when you say, "Oh, we're going to watch an Arthur video," it'll get them excited to try something.
I just have to add, I don't know how many of you are Mr. Rogers fans, or if you've watched Daniel Tiger now. But there's a new, I don't know, has it hit yet, the new one? There's a new series coming from the Fred Rogers Company that has my favorite name ever. It's called Donkey Hodie, like DONKEYHODIE, which apparently is a character from Mr. Rogers that I didn't know about. Oh, look at that.
Look at my doggy. That's my doggy. So cute.
Friday.
That's my doggy.
So anyway, watch for Don Quixote because it's really cute.
I don't know if you know this, Sandy and KJ. I don't know if you're at the meeting, but I wrote my master's thesis on Sesame Street and the importance of educational television for kids.
Oh, nice. Wow.
Yeah, so this is why I also get very excited about the use of media to.
So we just signed an agreement, or we're about to, with Sesame for, is it Camp TV?
Yeah.
No, it's Let's Learn. They're showing, it's Super Grover 2.0. We're going to have some of those new segments. They're STEM segments. And I think Sesame is more Let's Learn. Let's Learn is for 3K, so 3-year-olds to 8-year-olds, and Camp TV is for 5-year-olds to 10-year-olds. So there's some overlap, but Camp TV is more solidly elementary, and Let's Learn is early childhood. So it's preschool up to 2nd grade.
Yeah,
but there will be some of these Sesame Grover, Super Grover.
Yeah, and this is going to be really good for us to share with especially our preschool families, because a lot of them are super concerned about, the kids not getting the same preschool experience that they might have. And I'm like, wait a minute, that was the whole point of a lot of this starting back in the 70s was, preschool when it couldn't reach everybody. How do we get preschool to everyone? And that was with the original programming.
We're actually talking about having Let's Learn continue even when school is back in session for the same reason that we started in the 70s. I think that instructional television is having a resurgence, we'll see. But I think I would definitely recommend that families watch Let's Learn together. It's on every day. It's great for kids. There was a story in the New York Times in the beginning of January about a boy in Queens. I think somebody had written in about his older sister. I mean, this is a family where everybody was working remotely. There was one cell phone in the house, and that's what everybody used to connect. They had no internet connection. So there was a teenage sibling who used to use the phone most of the time to go to high school and to do her high school classes. But then there was a kindergartner in the house too, and he started watching Let's Learn. And they were saying he started flourishing. Like he's like looking at letters and words and starting to like sight read a couple of words. And it's made a big difference in him. So one of the things that we are going to be doing, we hope at some point, is some kind of real study and checking like what the impact has been on student learning. But these are just anecdotal stories that we're hearing, which are really interesting. So, okay, I'm gonna let you all go.
Yes, well, we don't want to take up more of your time. I'm sure you.
No, this has really been a pleasure. And I just thank you all for the work that you're doing. It's so important, especially now during the pandemic. So, we really appreciate what you're doing for our children.
No, it's same here. And we appreciate the years of everything that WNET has done and has done for our own education. I think we all can say that, well, not all of us have been here since childhood, but those of us who have been in the US since childhood can say that PBS from wherever we were from played a large role in our childhood, and it made us, for me, I'm gonna say made us who we are today. So yeah, so we're getting a lot of thank you. Yeah, PBS is really, yeah. And don't forget, I know that we're all strapped for cash and we're giving our money to COVE right now too, but don't forget to donate to your local
viewers like you.
Right, exactly. I'm gonna pitch you on that too, because it's true. PBS is and WNET is one of our partners in helping to do this work. So,
well, if you're a member, it's
oh yeah, you get the library of all
you get access to Passport, so you get all the videos, and it's almost like
Netflix.
Cheaper than Netflix.
Yeah,
I think
it's like $10 a month or
$10
something. Yeah.
Is it $10 a month?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if you want like the Netflix of PBS, you can get that and support wonderful documentaries and television programming for PBS as well. So.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody. Reach out with any questions.
Thank you. Have a good one. Thank you again, Dr. Greenblatt, as always.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Pierogi.
Pierogi. I love it. Her dog's name's Pierogi.
I'm obsessed.
I sent you a text.
You just did? Okay.
Yeah, in reference to earlier.
That was so amazing.
Is there something happening with her mind right now that it's like acting up?
But I got it now, that's all. So I reach out to him.
Does it have to do with your email?
No, it's with Mr. Jason Green.
Oh, for the after school program.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that can work for you?
Yeah, it should.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll start with that. At least you can get rolling right after the break. And then I think he can maybe do some more hours with you, and then we can see what can happen. But I was like, I wanted to see what we can do without you needing the DOE email, and that you can definitely do. I'm going to also see if you could do Tuesdays. Right now, I think the Tuesday slots are full because that's really for the juniors for their guided reading program. But I know the Mondays are not full. But I'm gonna, me, creative problem solving.
Yes.
But you saw my letter to Erica today. I was like, we're going in circles. What do we got to do here?
Yes.
But I'll keep working. I mean, like spring break, even for the DOE and for us, is not really a break. So I'll be annoying people next week too, and hopefully we'll figure it out. And we'll definitely, either way, you're gonna get started with something on Monday.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, okay, that might be great for me.
Yeah. I'm glad you weren't. I was like, oh, I don't know if he's working or if he has class. I hope he's not working or has class. Like, I was like, please let him get started with something.
On Mondays I do, boys.
That's what Russell is writing to me, and she's like, Deborah, please, poor Ezekiel's gonna have a breakdown soon if you don't give him something to do. He's so eager. I was like,
I said the devil is busy this semester. But anyway, guys, have a good night. Nice to meet you.
Thank you so much, Ezekiel. I'm so glad you could join us.
Nice to meet you.
Bye-bye.
He's one of my sweet peas.
Aw,
I know we're still recording, so we probably shouldn't say too many things, but yeah, he's an early childhood education. Like, don't you want him to be like your kid's teacher? Like, I just want to hug him all the time. He's like a big